Okay, welcome to another edition of Crossing the Middle Ministry. Today, I want to talk about the showdown at the OK Corral, which is actually a real actual event, action history that took place, but I'm not really wanting to talk about that. When I want to talk about another one that is coming in the future, and that would be the one where people say, okay, who is going to be God? Is there such a God, thing as God? Okay, is this real? All the people is going to corral, and they're going to come to a determination, and they're going to realize once and for all, okay, God is real. Okay, and this one I want to talk about, and I want to talk about a place in the Bible where Jesus kind of gives an indication, is in Mark 8:29. And believe it or not, we have been getting ready for this. The world has been getting ready for this, and I want to kind of point that out. I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is Life magazine. Hopefully this will come into focus. And this whole book is about nothing but Jesus. That's on the back. That is Jerusalem there. It looks like Jerusalem. Here is the Dome of the Rock, where the Muslim temple now stands, where the Jewish temple used to stand. There was actually two. There were actually two temples there. This is the third temple, which is not the Jewish third temple that is prophesied of, but this is the third actual place of worship that's been built on that particular site. And there is a temple that's going to be built there in the last days, the third Jewish temple. But and this is why, they put that on the back there, because such a place to be held. And as you can see right up there, the name Life magazine right at the top. This was kind of expensive book for me anyway. It's like $13 it was cost. And I'm just going to show you some of the pictures through here. And this is what I'm saying. They're getting ready. See, the world has not forgotten who that Christ is. It says right there on the bottom of the page, says, who do you say that I am? That's been the biggest question ever since Jesus came here, okay? And they've got it all laid out very, very articulate. And that looks like the Valley of Megiddo right there, where the Great Last Days War is supposed to happen. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but and they've got the content page written out on that. And on this page, this is the last page we'll look at for inside of here, but this is the Shroud of Turin, which is one of the biggest proofs that Christ was here, historical proof, okay? Left his picture, literally picture. Okay, so, but, okay, so I want to talk about this now, about, excuse me, see, there's a showdown coming. That's what it was at the OK Corral, a showdown. And that's what Christ has planned. That's why he asked Peter on this day. I think it was Peter that he asked. We'll find out here in a second, I'm thinking. Who do men say that I am? He was getting ready for this. He's concerned about it. And he's going to defend it. And he's going to make a show of it. And believe me, folks, I don't think he's planning on coming out losing. He's been planning this for 2,000 years now. I think he's got every detail figured out. Don't you? Okay, so anyways, and this is where it is kind of a hint. Okay, I get a bunch of feedback, negative feedback from secular people, especially atheists, that are continuously trying to prove that God is not real, but they don't want to prove it by looking at the evidence that God has left. They want to prove it by looking at evolution and things like. You'll never prove one way or another anything about God as far as evolution is concerned. Especially when you're not looking for anything in God. You're only looking for the atheistic things that try to prove that the world is billions of years old. In my estimation, it's just shows how great of a God that we have. He can make such a place that would even make it look like it was old. As a matter of fact, there's a statement in the Bible that says that particular thing. But okay, this is Mark 8:29. And he, who is Jesus, said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Peter answered and said unto him, Thou art the Christ. Okay? And he charged them that they should tell no man of him. Well, because he didn't want the showdown happening right yet, see? Okay, now, I want to read a little bit about what led up to that particular statement. Will give us a little bit more of an indication of Christ is planning on showing himself. And he's going to do it in these last days. The book of Revelation is Jesus showing himself. Man, go read that. You talk about showing himself. Boy, does he plan on the showdown. And this has all got to do with the will of man and the will of Satan. And, you know, from the beginning of time, the whole battle has been who is the best man, you know. From the very first time where Satan stood up and says, I'm going to make myself a throne above the throne of God's. And he declared it. Well, from that moment on, it's been who's the best man. And God has been determined to show the devil that he is not the best man. And not only is he not the best man, he's not even close to the best man. Neither is man the best man, but so to speak, you know. But anyways, this is what led up to it right here, okay? And we go back up here to verse 22. And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man to him, and he besought him and touched him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And by the way, I heard Billy Graham say on TV today that there's 42 million blind people in the United States alone. Okay? And I've heard people say, well, why don't God do something about that? You know? And I said to the man, I says, because men have yet to realize what sin has done to us. That's why God has left this place like it is. That's why he just doesn't come in here and jump in and take over. Because he wants this people to know what sin has done to us. Okay? And that's all a part of the showdown. What sin has done to man. What the devil has led us into. Caused us to fall and cause us to hurt ourselves and get away from the foundation of life, whom the Lord Jesus is and whom the Father is, okay? And that's part of the showdown, okay? So, and when he had spit on his eyes, and he put his hands upon him and asked him if he saw aught or anything. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. And that he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. Okay, now look, see, Christ he didn't want to go out there and take over the whole world and make every man see and heal all sicknesses and all. He's just showing them that, look, I am here. I have this ability. If you come to me, we're gonna eventually take care of this devil exactly the way that he planned to take the world away from us. We're going to take it out of his hand, exactly in his fashion. I don't know where that bee went to. Okay. Okay, so, and he's going to take it out in his fashion, the way that he wants to, and defend it in his fashion. And at the same time, he's going to learn every person for eternity, not just for a while, but for this is something that men need to remember forever. Not just while they're on planet Earth, but forever. They need to remember this, what sin has done to us. Okay? And he sent him away to the house, saying, Neither go into town, nor tell it to any in the town. And Jesus went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea and Philippi, and by the way, and he asked his disciples, saying, or while they were on the way, going to where they were, whom do men say that I am? See, he was getting ready. He says, my time is not yet, fellas, but hey, there's coming a time when the showdown is going to happen. And they answered, John the Baptist, and some say Elias, and some others, and one of the prophets. And he said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Peter, Peter's always jumping in there. He's the one that walked in the water. Lord, if that's you, bid me to come. He jumped out on that water, boy. I mean, Peter was the first one out of the boat every time. And he said unto him, thou art the Christ. In another place it says, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And, the world hasn't forgotten him, even the secular people. And it's time that we get out of the boat. It's time that we remember. And everybody in the heart knows this thing is coming. You can see the signs all around you. Storm went through here last night, reminded me of that. This video's kind of long. I'll get it on the YouTube though, and I'll have some statements in here. But it's time that we realize that this thing is coming to an end. Christ is going to wipe all this stuff out. He is going to stop all the suffering. But it has to have man to know what sin. We don't ever want to go through this again. Not ever. And this is going to be the showdown. And you need to decide whose side that you're on now. And make a decision right now for Christ. Romans 10:9 and 10. And get on the right side. Don't be the one on the left. But don't be the one on the right, rather, but be the one on the left of Christ, because those are the ones He's going to say, enter ye in, my good. No, I got that backwards. We do want to be on the right side. Okay, the ones on the right He's going to say, enter ye in. But you'll be there. He'll figure it out. Okay, I'm not the one that's going to be organize the thing. He is. You got to remember that. Okay, God bless. We'll see you again next time with another great subject. Crossing the Middle Ministry. God bless.